Long before Transformers Cyberverse, there was in fact another Transformers Cyberverse, which in turn was the successor to the Legends subline. Basically, this was a form of Transformer that existed between the little tiny minute figures that you could get and deluxe classes. Gathered here before us are practically all of the ones I have of this special size class, so I thought just as a little nice video we could explore all of these ones, and because they are small they are relatively simple, so they don't all deserve single videos of their own, so let's just mash them all into one big pile here. Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime. Here he is as his little Peterbilt truck, and he has his super mode jetpack that you can store on a trailer hitch. It's not exactly a trailer hitch, but it serves a purpose. It's like I think there was a thing at the time where Transformers were coming with these guns with pegs on them, and a lot of bigger figures had little peg points all over. I know like Dark of the Moon Jolt had flip out pegs on his arms that you could attach guns to. You know, he looks pretty good. The red and blue everywhere. He's got good detailing for his size. You can take this off. Everything is just about hidden. There's no visible robot parts. You can kind of see his hand sticking out there, but he's nice, cute and compact, and a decent vehicle mode. So here's his jetpack. Folded up, you can spread it out like that. Obviously his guns are stored on there. We'll take them off in a little bit. Let's quickly transform this guy. So it's been a very long while. I think for a start we want to be pulling this out. We can separate that at the back. We can rotate the arms out like that. That's a feature that's shared with the first movie leader class figure. You can find a review for Nightwatch Optimus Prime over in the corner up there. Pull the front out like that, bring that down, rotate it like that. We can split the legs at this point, make sure that the feet click in just like that, and then his upper torso is on a slider. You want to be pushing that back, and you can fold in those back pieces flush against his back. Bring the arms down, make sure his waist clicks into place. Oh, before you fold them back actually, take that tab, fold that back, that releases his head. And there you have Prime in his robot mode. It's a little bit funky looking, but he is probably the best, arguably the best Optimus of this size. There is a slightly smaller one for Revenge of the Fallen, which is pretty good as well, but this guy at least has proper hands, and he looks decent. He has a few things in common with that original 07 lead class figure, but you know, good detailing. He's got the Dark of the Moon rib cage there, or the abs rather, I suppose. Decent articulation. This is why I'm showing off this specific size class, because compared to their smaller cousins, these guys actually had, you know, decent posability and all of that. Then returning to his jetpack, he can take off his guns, he can hold them. The thing about this Prime is that his thumbs are very easy to snap off. They wear and tear really, really easily, but you can hold that nice and simple, and then you can attach this back onto his back. Like, oh, come on. There we go, like that. And you can get his jet wing mode. And there's Prime. Moving him off to the back, because that's him done. He's a nice little figure. Let's look at Sentinel Prime. On the topic of primes, I can't remember what type of vehicle this is, but it's like a fire engine sort of thing. It's nice. Again, he's a brick. That's just the type of vehicle. He's got underneath storage for his sword blade, which just plugs in. This is really nicely sculpted, really nicely painted as well. Doesn't roll all that well. He has a little bit of a transformation problem where you can see his front does not line up properly. That's a little bit of a shame. He's always been like that, so it's not exactly a damage, it's just a quality control feature that's gone wrong. His transformation, you need to split that open, and then you can remove this. This is like a ladder fire extinguisher sort of thing, but you can fold that like that and bring that out, and lo and behold, you've got his shields. Just plug it in. Oh, fiddly thing. Plug it in like that, and there's his shield. So we spread that bit out. We want to be releasing the arms like that. You can flip the feet up at this stage if you like. Fold all that back out. It's on a hinge, and just get the arms spread everything out like that. He's basically lying on his front. You can fold out his head. Then you can rotate this on the hinge and fold that stuff back. Come here, split his legs, rotate them at the knees. Then if we fold him like that, and there is Sentinel in robot mode. Easy transformation, easy. Proportionally, he's okay. I mean, the detail is not the best. He's kind of got this really wide chest. These don't hold up very well, but that's just general play from him over the years, I suppose. Same with Prime. His thumbs are not very good. I think, in fact, you can see on this hand, the thumb has, in fact, snapped off. I think. Or maybe not. Maybe it hasn't. But anyway, the thumbs and the fingers of these things are brittle and kind of crap, really. So it makes holding his blade, as I'm attempting to make him do, scary. Let's get that one on. But these are like the clip-on weapon sort of things that I was going on about earlier. So that's Sentinel. I think Optimus is the better of these two. Moving on, Ironhide here. He was the first one of this lot that I got. I think he is one of the better ones. GMC top kick, as he always has been. You can see the clip-on thing on his trailer hitch right here. His guns can store on the sides here. A bit like a stealth force sort of thing in essence. He does like to come apart a bit though. With this one, what you can do with the cannons is that you can recreate what that first movie Voyager class figure could do, where you can plug them in to one another and get like an uber gun sort of thing, and then using the clip here you can return to the trailer hitch and you can tap it in and you could store them there. Although why you would really want to do that, I don't know, considering that there's no proper peg here and the only peg that is there, this can't reach it in this. Or can it? Hang on. Ooh! No, it can't, because when you do that. So that's stupid and dumb and stupid. Move that off. Let's transform him. It's a good looking vehicle mode. Let's transform him. Fold the feet out like that. I do like that. And then rotate them at the upper leg. You want to come to the side, and as you could see before, fold out his arms like so. Crush the chest in like that to give him a classic Ironhide look. Come to the bottom here, keep that folded out as you fold all of, fold all of this down here. It's been a while. Flare them out a bit, that'll provide some clearance. Fold that down so it's set behind the chest piece, and bring his arms down into position. You want to get your nail in, and there's a tab on his chin, and you want to be just folding that out like so. And that's Ironhide. Proportionally, he is a bit of a mess. I mean, yeah, his arms are sat really far back. You can't bring them forward. They're on ball joints and they will just pop off if you try and do anything else with them. So proportionally, he's not particularly very good, but just general playability, he's probably one of the better ones of this line, in my personal opinion. But then again, that just might be nostalgia, considering he was the first one for me. Let's plug his cannons in like he does have them in the films. Whether that really benefits his profile, I don't exactly know, but hey, that's Ironhide. Let's pop him back off. I'm speeding through these because we've got several to do. Let's go Megatron next. Here we are. This is his Mad Max thing. Voyager class review up in the corner there if you want to go check out the infinitely better version of this figure. But this is nice and squat, and it's kind of adorable, really. Yeah, it's a good vehicle mode though. Compared to everything else that we've had, it's good. I mean, that's not to say everything else has been bad so far. Clip-on thing here, similar with Ironhide. You've got the trailer hitch, and it's like a proper hitch this time. Like with the Voyager class, this will be his fusion cannons. It's not really a cannon. It's kind of like two separate stupid things here. You can split it apart. You can fold out these. You could do like a first movie sort of thing where you reattach them like that, and that's meant to be his fusion cannon. Bit daft. Right, transform Megatron. You want to be splitting this and folding these back. I quite like that. Keep that folded like that, and yet again you want to be rotating this at the knees. That is a very common thing with this line, it seems. Coming up, We want to fold out the arms like so. Want to be splitting the... Or you can just pull off the arm entirely, but split the hood. Thankfully, it's a ball joint, so it'll just snap back in. Let's try it again. Just wiggle, 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 and maneuver it down. You can then fold down the chest piece. His head doesn't need anything to do it to it. And that's Megatron. Proportionally, yeah, he's a bit janky again. He's very wide. His shoulders are splayed out very far for some reason. But articulation-wise, he's got that double joint. The double thing at the elbow. He's got good elbow articulation. That's what I'm trying to say. Just a lot of leg movement as well. He's probably one of the more posable figures. That makes him probably actually better than Ironhide. He's better than Sentinel because I think you can do a few more things with this guy just in terms of articulation. Struggles to beat Optimus at the minute just because Optimus has the gimmickry of the jetpack as well. This thing, it's got... You won't be able to see this, but it has the sticks either side there and there. You can kind of see it. But what you're meant to do is slot his hand in. This is not going to work very well. Well, there we go. We got it. And yeah, that's stupid. But Megs is probably one of the... I'm going to say this for every single one. He's probably one of the better ones. But I'll tell you what, who is the best? Unequivocally, Blackout here. This is the one that I wanted more than anybody else. And I was so happy. I think I got this guy at the exact same time I got Deluxe Class Roadbuster. I found them in the same store. Can't remember where. Can't remember when exactly. But here we go. Blackout. At the time, before the Studio series, this was probably the best Blackout to ever come out. Sorry, original Voyager, but you are a bit shit. Blackout here is still the MH-53 Pavlo. It looks good. I mean, he does have his hands sticking out there, so it's a bit of a bummer. But it's nice. Scorponok is there. He doesn't exactly turn into much of anything. He's black for some reason. Don't know why. You can actually, if you pull that out and then you plug that in, I think that is him meant to be like a triple barreled laser rifle or something. Bit dumb. So yeah, Blackout, nice. They rotate really nicely. Nice. To transform him, let's fold out that. Let's do the classic Blackout thing where you fold up his rotor blades. There's like 3 different levels to it. Go there, split the arms, fold that back, and then just bring all of them forward like that. We're going to go to this little block here and rotate it out. That'll be the legs. That's pretty cool. Flip. Then out like that, and you've got a foot. Flip that, and flip that, and you've got another foot. He's a little bit more complicated than all the others. You've got to try and hinge his shoulders out like that. Come to the top here, and you've got to rotate the bit that the rotor blades are on around, and then you can fold the chest down. That'll pop up the head. This is the gist of Blackout here. Again, like Megs, he suffers from wide shoulder syndrome, really. So he doesn't look particularly brilliant. I mean, even his chest doesn't split apart as much as it could do. He does suffer from having this just hanging off. I mean, once upon a time you could fold it up, but again, general wear and tear makes that impossible now. Well, I mean, his leg can support it. His feet, you know, they're meant to be like these clawed little shindigs here, and he's meant to like stand on his tippy toes. It sort of works, but it sort of doesn't. That's Blackout. He's okay, I suppose. I know I did start this by saying he's probably the best. And in terms of transformation sequence, I would say he is the best because he's the most complex. Therefore, he's the most interesting to play with. Colour scheme-wise, again, blue, the silver, the grey. He does look appealing in person. This video probably isn't doing him enough justice, but if you get any of these things, either get Optimus or get this one, I think, because they have the most playability about them. Let's try and put Scorponok in his hand, or something. I don't know if this will work. Oh, well, sort of. It looks daft, but that's Blackout. Moving over to Transformers Prime, we've got two boys here who are just repainting to one another. You've got Skyquake, and you've got Dreadwing, who is easily one of the best characters in that show. Now, the interesting thing about these little figures, I believe the Beast Hunters Deluxe Class Dreadwing is basically an upscaled version of this guy here. And that's, I don't know why they chose to do it. I mean, it's a decent mould. I know the original Voyager class was quite complicated, allegedly. But Skyquake here, one of these guys has suffered a bit of damage. Something about Dreadwing's weapon has bust, like a tab. Yeah. So Dreadwing's gun here, there's meant to be another handhold there, but it's actually got broken off and gotten stuck. And it's clear plastic, so I suppose what do you expect? Yeah, he's got the gun, he's got the sword, which can connect together just like in the cartoon. Nice. Skyquake has his machine gun, orange plastic. They both look nice. Skyquake is obviously his green and orange. Dreadwing is his black and his blue and yellow. Yeah, nice looking vehicle modes, but unfortunately there's a crap ton of robot kibble underneath. Getting on to transforming them, and again they're exactly the same. The instructions, from what I remember, tell you to plug in the arms like that. That's beyond idiotic. Why would you do that? Considering that looks better, why'd you do that? You wouldn't. So just unplug the arms from the legs. If you've got any sensibilities, you would have plugged them in like that to begin with. You can fold out the toes there. Rotate the legs slightly and just give him a Gerwalk mode. If they can Gerwalk, that's done. Pull these bits out like that. They will become his shoulder things. You can just bring that slightly, but just keep it up for the time being, because we're going to reach under. We're going to hinge the torso around like that and plug it back in, and then we're going to bring down the cockpit, flare the shoulder bits out like that. We're going to bring that down and bring them over. Here we go. Skyquake and Dreadwing. I think Dreadwing has always been the better of the two. His colour palette is just way more appealing than the green and the whatever colour that is that's on him as well. Dreadwing has always looked nicer, and plus he has Tony Todd's voice. I mean, again, they're decent figures, and they were upscaled into the deluxe Dreadwing for the Beast Hunters line, so Hasbro must have done something right with these guys to award them an upscale. So upscales don't happen a lot. But, yeah, maybe slightly better than the Voyager class figure. It certainly looked more animation accurate than that one. I think that one was a bit too skinny in a way. Now, we're kind of cheating with this guy. This is Activator's Thundercracker from Transformers Animated. I also have the Starscream on, but I'm showing off Thundercracker because he's got the better paint job. The whole gimmick with the animated version, this red tab, they all had something like this, and you press it and it would basically do the entire transformation for you. So here's Thundercracker in the animated Seeker jet, whatever you want to call it. It's always been weird with the backward wings. I don't know what the incentive was behind it. You could see the legs there. He does have landing gear, actually. Let's just try and pull them out on his legs. On his shins, rather. Fold that. And fold that. Trying not to disrupt anything. So he's actually got a landing gear. Right there. Doesn't contribute much. Just fold them back in. Thundercracker blue, nice, lovely, with the silver highlights, the gold Decepticon symbols on his wings, with the streaks of purple as well. Aesthetically pleasing, really lovely. You know, Dreadwing colours also, good stuff. For the transformation, rotate the null rays round and flip up the shoulder pads. You can unclip the arms from the wings. We can open up the thrusters to make his feet. And we can fold the tail fins back. I'm going to disconnect his legs and just straighten them like that. And then all that's left to do is push the big red button. That releases the front of the nose cone, which in turn folds up and the chest is formed. Let's just fold out that bit a bit better, and look at slow motion action replay. Once upon a time I could fold that back out manually. There we go. So by pushing the big red button, you can see all of this would automorph like that. So the nose cone folds up in the back and everything else folds down, and that's how it goes. Again, proportionally this guy's really good. Articulation, this guy's pretty good. I mean, the arms have a decent range. They are hindered by the rings, but what can you do? Everything else down below is on a ball joint, so he's got excellent range of motion there. His head is on a ball joint as well. He's essentially a smaller scale version of the Voyager class, but they do things differently, and the Voyager class has overall a better transformation. This is a very simplified version, but again, for its size and the end result that you get, it's pretty good actually. I think all of the Seekers got variations of this guy to come out. Thundercracker's probably one of the nicer looking ones. I can't say for Skywarp, I've only got the Voyager one. The Starscream one for some reason is blue and animated. Doesn't look that nice. I've never been a fan of animated Starscream's design, to be honest. The repaints all look better, but that's Thundercracker. So in conclusion, I don't know how well I'm going to get everybody in focus here. In conclusion, these guys, you know, they're fun, they're nice, they're fun, they're not, you know, pitch perfect Transformers by any means. They don't necessarily look all that nice compared to their bigger variants who can be more animation accurate and they have better engineering. But, you know, if you want to like troop build, army build sort of thing, or have a little collection of these mini guys, these were the more expensive of the smaller ones, but they offered better detailing, better engineering on the whole. The best ones in front of us right now, I'd say the Dark of the Moon Prime, the Dark of the Moon Blackout, Prime Dreadwing, and probably animated Thundercracker there. If you had to pick 4 of these 8, I would say they're the ones you should probably go for. Ironhide's fine, but proportionally he's a bit of a mess. Megatron, he's got the wide shoulders, but he's decent. Sentinel doesn't quite fit together very well, and then Skyquake is just an inferior version of Dreadwing. But anyway, that's these guys, whatever size they are. Legends class figures, Scout class figures, Cyberverse, you pick. They've all gone by that name over the years. Thank you everybody so much for stopping by and checking out this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share it around to help out the channel. And until the next time,